Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Outlander Adventure. In this episode, what we're going to be doing is replacing a thermostat. I have a MOPAR thermostat for my Jeep. I got an engine code P1, P1028, which basically means the engine is running cooler than it's supposed to be, which pretty much means my thermostat is probably stuck open. So we're going to go ahead and replace that. I have everything I need here, and we're going to get started right away because I've been driving around with this thing stuck open. I've been waiting for this part to get shipped for a while, so for some reason it took like 2 weeks, so kind of crazy. But all right, let's get started. Alright, we're going to start by removing this top here first. And then what you want to do first is, first and foremost, this shouldn't be, this should have been sitting for quite some time to let all the coolant cool down. If you open this while this is hot, it's going to burst all over. You're going to burn yourself and you're going to learn a valuable lesson. But I'm going to teach you that lesson now. And chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably don't know this trick anyway, or this lesson. So if this was hot and I opened this, this would just blow up in my face basically, and you know, who knows. So but we can take that off. Well, basically what you want to do is we're going to remove this so we can get to the thermostat, and the we're going to, so depending on what model you have, if you have a Hard Rock like me, or one of the other models that have the MOPAR steel bumper, you're going to remove your skid plate underneath here. If you just have the plastic bumper, you have a plastic skid plate, you can just like pull out the clips. It's pretty straightforward. If you have the MOPAR bumper, you need to remove some bolts, and we'll go over that when we get there. But yeah, let's get this taken off. So you can just use a screwdriver if you want, but I'm using a drill with bits. Make things a little bit quicker on the close clamp. And I have a K&N air filter. If yours is stock, you're going to have this rubber hose here running along here. You're going to want to unclip that from your intake tube. And also underneath here is going to be the wire. So you want to unplug the electrical that's hooked to it. So just give it a little twist until it, I guess I don't have it as loose as I'd like to. Oh, that's why. There we go. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. Let's see if we can. Okay. Get that out of the way. And you can take this tube out. Honestly, could probably get away with just kind of carefully placing it somewhere. As long as there's not a kink in that hose, you're good. Okay, and remember we can. Okay, now that we have this off, you can see the thermostat. It's down here. Now there's a little hose here. You can get a hose clamp tool that will actually, like, you know, you kind of just put it here. It's really easy. You just like put it on, and then you got like this wire that goes to it, and you got a pump that you just squeeze it and it opens it right up. I'm going to be using some pliers to get it. So yeah, let me go get those pliers. So like I said, if you have one of the models with the MOPAR steel bumper, you're going to have a steel skid plate as well, and they won't have little plastic clips. So it is, what was it, 15 millimeters. So let's see. And I'm just gonna kind of loosen each one. I'm not gonna take this first one out. I'm just gonna loosen all the bolts that I need to. And most people would probably, you know, jack this up, but if you got a Rubicon, you probably have enough room to do this without doing that. Which, you know, I mean, it's tight, but it can be done. My buddy didn't think I would have to take this off, but in order to drain the coolant from the radiator, you have to remove it. Well, luckily these are coming off really easy. This is a 2016. This bumper is pretty clean. I don't think they did a lot of off-roading with it. I could be wrong. The frame is pretty clean. I mean, they looking for, see if they upgraded anything under here. I can't really see. I probably could have gotten these out with an air gun, but once I get these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts off, I think there's another 2 that are further down, and it's similar to the plastic ones as well. You're going to have a bunch of plastic clips that you remove, and then towards the back of the skid plate there will be 2 brackets that you have to also remove clips from. Now I think it's okay to just go ahead and take the bins out. And then we got this bolt and this bolt, which is about the same place where the brackets are for the plastic bumper. And do the same thing. I'm just going to loosen them up. You probably should wear safety goggles. You know, if you've been off-roading, you're gonna have a bunch of stuff coming down in your eyes and in your mouth. So you might want to wear a mask and goggles. But if you don't care, just be forewarned. Again, I'm pretty sure you're aware of all of this. If you're, you know, or sorry, again, I'm pretty sure you're not aware of any of this, though. If you're not watching this video, you already know what you're doing. If you're watching this video, it's because you don't know what you're doing. So little things like that will be helpful. So wear goggles, wear a mask. It'll keep stuff out of your mouth and your eyes. We got some water leaking out. That's water. It rained. And once we get the skid plate off, we can drain the coolant from the radiator. And you're going to want to drain that into a bucket. If you have pets at home, be really, really careful. You do not want your pets to drink that. And I'm telling you right now, it has an attractive scent and flavor to it. It smells and tastes sweet to animals, and it will kill them. Do not just dispose of this stuff in the yard. You know, properly dispose of this stuff just like you should with oil. So collect it in a like an oil catcher or some kind of catch pan or bucket. I can start to twist it with my fingers because, as you can see, it's moving, wobbling pretty good. So when it gets to the stage so it doesn't fall on you, hold it with like one arm and unscrew the bolt with your fingers. This is actually pretty heavy duty skid plate. And be careful lining that up against the wall. It doesn't really sit flat or even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. 7 bolts. We're gonna go put those over to the side. And let's see, now we gotta just make sure I put paper bags down to catch any of the splatter. There is going to be some splatter, so if you have like kitty litter, that'll, you know, kind of clean it up like kind of oil, I think. I'm not really sure. It's not really like oil. It's pretty thin. You know, you know, paper towels will probably clean it up pretty well, but afterwards you might want to just sprinkle some sawdust or kitty litter over top of it, just to soak up anything that it can. But yeah. So once you're set up and you have your catch can or your bucket, you want to put it underneath the radiator, which again, the drain for the radiator is on the passenger side. And let's see if I can see it now with the skid plate off. I think I got this rag in the way. Not really sure why this rag is here. I guess it's the catch. Okay. I guess somebody put a rag here. Yeah, it's full of coolant fluid. Interesting. Well, hopefully there's not a coolant leak. That might have been a dirty trick of a mechanic. Mechanic might have thought, you know, he put it up in here. It catches all the leaking coolant, and that way it doesn't drip out of the drip pan, because it was right above the drip hole, or the drain hole right here. So right here inside there was this. So that is where normally, you know, anything leaking would drain out. But yeah. So I'm wondering if they just put it there to catch it so it wouldn't leak on their carport or their garage floor, or what. I guess we'll find out. So if you do have the Rubicon Hard Rock, any of the Hard Rock trims, or any of the trims with the MOPAR steel bumper, there's a little plastic panel that runs through here with push pins, push clips. My push clips did not want to come out. They were, I tried prying them out and everything, and they just didn't want to come out. So I actually drilled through them, and I'll just get new push pins and put them in there. But this is the piece. So it just kind of sits underneath the bumper here, and yeah, so I had to get that out in order to be able to see the radiator drain. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little drain in there. I'm gonna have to reposition my camera to. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a pair of needle nose pliers, and just so you can see, this is the drain right here. So there's like a little twist thing that you see. system. There it goes. Alright, we'll just let that drain. Alright, so as that's draining, we're going to let that drain out. We're also going to pinch this clamp here, and move it back so we can take it off of the thermostat. So I'm using a really old pair of clamps here. Let's see. Probably not the best. Yeah, I probably should use a different pair. Let's see. Oops, I almost. Looks like it is. I'm having trouble with this thing. I'm just having a tough time getting leverage. There we go. Alright. Moved it back some. It probably wasn't enough. Come on. Alright, that's good. Alright, now that that's back, we can kind of let's pull this wire up and get that out of the way. Okay. Almost. Alright, there we go. Yeah, and some fluid's gonna pour out. That's why I put the bags down there. And we're gonna get a little more out of the radiator now that it's got now that it can flow all through. I'm just gonna let that drain for a bit. Alright, so now that that's pretty much drained, you don't really actually have to wait for it all to drain, but what you're going to do is take a 10mm extension. There's 2 bolts, one right there and then one underneath there, and those are the bolts to the thermostat. Go ahead and take those off now. Probably want a little bit longer extension than what I'm using here. That's going to be a pain. I have to get a longer extension for that. Let's get the bottom one. Make sure I'm not going to knock any bolts over. That kind of troubles me. It wasn't on very tight to begin with. And that could have been the problem. That was why I was getting a code. Yeah, I'm just untightening it with my hand. It really didn't take much. Now, you do, I guess you don't need it, but it is probably highly recommended to get a torque wrench for this, for installing these, for installing the thermostat housing. You want 105-inch pounds, or 8 3/4 feet-pounds. And I don't think that it was tightened to that. So yeah, I can see that that one's loose too. But let me see if I can just. There we go. It's a little easier. It's an odd spot. I think I'm just gonna use the extension and yeah, that's nice and easy. Yeah, I would recommend doing this. Just take the extension, especially for that top bolt. Alright, okay. Alright, put those two aside. Alright, now you can just remove the thermostat. Just pull it straight out. And yep, okay. And the seal did stay on this, so pull that out off. A lot of times the seal stays on it, so make sure you pull the seal off. This looks like a new thermostat, to be honest. It doesn't look old. So I'm guessing they probably didn't put it on tight enough or something. But it is a Moto Rad. I don't want that, so we're gonna get rid of that and replace it with the MOPAR. So before we do that, I'm just gonna get the surface cleaned up. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some brake parts cleaner and just go around this real lightly and just make sure that's nice and clean. So I have some brake parts cleaner and just some automotive or auto body scuff material. I'm just gonna spray a little on that. I'm not gonna spray it directly on it. I don't really want it in there, right? So I'm just gonna spray it on there and lightly kind of go around the rim and just clean it up. You just want a nice, clean, smooth surface. Probably kind of hard to see. If you can't see what I'm doing, you're just going around the edge of the rim lightly, and that you're not really pushing hard. You don't want to abrase it really. You just want like a nice clean finish. I'm gonna probably go over it one more time. I like to take the clean side and just wipe it dry. Okay. Unfortunately, everything was done in time lapse after this, so just read the notes and make sure you follow the instructions there. There are a couple important things like this bleeder port right here. I talk about pouring in the coolant and listening for the air escaping from the bleeder port. When you no longer hear it, you can close it with your hand, and I recommend to do that. Open up the bleeder port before you put it on. But yeah, my bad, y'all. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. We'll have more DIY videos like this as I have to fix parts and install parts that I want. And yeah, look forward to seeing you there.